Obviously, you're a legend to a lot of Chelsea fans.
Mhm.
So, what do you feel personally about the appointment of Xabi Alonso as our next manager? How do you think he will do?
When I was very surprised when I heard that he signed for Chelsea, and happily surprised because I really thought that he would go to Liverpool, but supposedly it never been a thought from the board to get Xabi Alonso. And I'm very fond of Xabi Alonso. What he was capable of doing for Bayer Leverkusen has been exceptional. Uh, and the main concern about football and coaches, and I'm pleased that he was named manager and not only coach of Chelsea Football Club, is that it's supposed up total control of all decisions. And if it's not that, it's going to be like it was for Real Madrid. So
Hmm.
if you don't give all the tools to Xabi Alonso, he will not be able to be successful with Chelsea because it's already a big task, with the players that he has, the amount of players that he has, the lack of. You have some players who kind of experiences in that team. They are most of them international players, but they don't have the experience of a Thiago Silva, of a Conte, and so many others that we've seen Lampard, Dennis Wise, and my time, and some others.
Yeah.
And so that will be Xabi Alonso task to find maybe some players, but is it the targets and where the board wants to go because of that trading business that they want to go to into? I talked to Bedad Egbali when they came with Chelsea for the Champions League, and he's a very nice guy, and we shared some words because he knew that I was very kind of critical towards the board and Chelsea and what I was expecting from them. I love that club. I want that club
Yeah.
to be successful, and I really hope that Todd Bowley and Bedadek Bali will be successful. But they
Hmm.
have to listen to us. We
Yeah.
just want the good for that club, and if you give Xabi Alonso all control, if
Hmm.
you accept that at some point he's going to buy players that it doesn't fit into your ideas, that doesn't matter. Because
Yeah.
Chelsea fans, because I'm thinking about the club, I'm thinking about the fans, they want success like
Yes.
they used to have. And they want now. They don't want it within 10 years or 5 years, 2 years,
Hmm.
3 years. They want now because they fed up being not able to fight for the title. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's going to work. Hopefully Xabi Alonso is going to do well. And I pray for everything good for Chelsea next season.
Well, I was going to ask because obviously you're not only a Chelsea man, but you play for Strasbourg as
Mhm.
well, who obviously have the same ownership. Um, Obviously, it's very difficult because you saw the fan protests last year, and you're
Right.
saying you're very much a fan, and you're probably a fan of both clubs. Would you hope to see that this is a change of Chelsea and that this will be a change to them having more success? Or are you concerned about the ownership model, maybe as it stays and if they continue to go that way?
I had the chance to play with Mark Keller, the chairman of Strasbourg, and we talked. And he said, "Well, I couldn't refuse the money. I needed money from Chelsea, so uh, there wasn't even a question." And Strasbourg does well with the young players coming and with the coaches that they had. It fits. It perfectly fits. Strasbourg cannot fight with Paris Saint Germain like any other club in the world right now. But
Yeah,
so it's not about winning the Ligue 1. It's about trying to do well and giving pleasure to the fans. And there is a big fan base in Strasbourg, and they love the football like in Marseille. And great atmosphere in the stand every game. Uh, but what Mark and Chelsea did, it was for the good of Chelsea of Strasbourg, and it worked. And I
hmm,
think for the board, it's a good idea. They can get players almost ready for Chelsea. That's the problem. Says we see players coming from Strasbourg doing well, but when you put your feet in at Stamford Bridge, it's
yeah,
another pressure. It's
yeah,
another game. It's another game. It's another mentality, and you don't have the time to settle down. That's the
hmm,
problem. And they are young, and because they're not surrounded, we go back to the same problem. We're not surrounded by experienced players. You
yeah,
are kind of yeah, a young guy running in the garden, but you don't know where
yeah,
to go. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what it is. They are absolutely talented players. All the players that I saw coming from Strasbourg to Chelsea, they are. But they
Hmm.
need to be surrounded by people who know the job.
Yeah. And then look, obviously, you'll very much be aware that the World Cup starts today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, you're a winner. You won it in 1998. Congrats.
Thank you.
Um, but look, obviously France, for some reason, many don't see them as the favourites. They see Spain as the favourites. Many do see France as the favourites. But from your experience, what does it take to win a World Cup, and how can France use that to win it?
um, how do you say alchemy? Do you say that?
Yeah,
Chemistry. No, you say
yeah,
chemistry.
chemistry. Yeah.
Chemistry. That's the key word for a World Cup winner. You
Hmm.
have to accept to be, because you know what, when the coach picks a squad of 25 players, it picks not maybe all the best, and we saw with Tuchel, and maybe we'll talk about it, but definitely with with Emechake in '98, you don't pick the best 25 players of the country, because that doesn't
Yeah,
work. You try to build a club, a team who can fit, because all the players, they play for their club. They're never on the bench. They play. They're very strong. But half of them, more than half of them, will be on the bench, and they
yeah,
will have to accept it. And that's the thing. It's like for Ivan Tony was picked for England. Why he was picked? Because he's a great player, but he
yeah.
won't create any problems if he's on the bench. And that's the same thing with France that they have to find. If for any reason you decide to put Konate on the bench, or you decide to put Olise on the bench,
Hmm.
they shouldn't say anything. And if they say something, they create the mess. If somebody is substitute and oh my God, why I'm substitute? It's like saying, well, you want to put that guy in where I'm here? I'm much
Yeah,
better than him. No, it doesn't work like that.
yeah.
That's just a coach decision. But in this club, that guy is maybe better than you are. So it's a chemistry will show the key of a success. And any club, any team, any country who won the World Cup is because they were absolutely friends, and they accepted decisions.
And not to kind of use that going forward is quite famously now in the last couple of weeks, or infamously, Mbappe has had a fallout with quite a few of maybe his Real Madrid teammates to an extent. And there's a wee bit of tension around Real Madrid, and they've now appointed Mourinho to take over. Do you see Mbappe falling into line under Mourinho, or do you see there being tension? What do you think's going to happen there?
Well, I want to see that first. I want to see the soap opera because
Yeah,
even if it's a success, we'll have to follow that, because what's going to happen between Vini and Mourinho after the Benfica game? What's going to happen with Mbappe when Jose Mourinho will say, "Come on, track back"? I would say,
yeah,
"What?" No, it doesn't work like that in Real Madrid. In Real Madrid, we do whatever we want. We are players. We are the star. No, it's not going to work like that with Jose Mourinho. It's why he's been appointed. That's going to be interesting.
yeah,
But I think he will have a discussion. But Luis Enrique tried to have a discussion with Kylian Mbappe, and it's not on his computer. It's not
yeah,
on Mbappe's computer, and so I don't have the answer. I
yeah,
really
yeah,
hope. And when he signed for Real Madrid, I say I hope Ancelotti will be able to put him on the bench if he doesn't track back, or if he doesn't get into back into position. Uh, he didn't. Ancelotti didn't do anything, and Mbappe kept on doing whatever he wanted. Let's see with Jose Mourinho. I have doubts that it
yeah.
can work, but I want to see it. I don't want to miss it.
Well, but the way you put it, I can't wait for it either, to be honest, because I'm situated in Spain
Okay.
myself. I'm living in Spain. Can't wait for it. But I'll ask you finally, as well, when it comes to yourself, like again with Chelsea and fighting for titles, you won trophies with Chelsea. You've won trophies throughout. You've had a very glittering career. What does it take for Chelsea to kind of fight for those titles again? Like I know we've talked about experience, but is there a certain area that they need the experience? Like you can argue they've got Enzo Fernandez, who's World Cup winner, experienced. You can argue that they've got players like that in and around the team. But where do they need to put that experience that they need to sign with Alonso? Because not to sound stepping over the mark maybe, but Granit Xhaka, he brought him into Leverkusen. That changed everything. No one rated Granit Xhaka until he went to Leverkusen after his time with Arsenal. But who does he bring in? I can't see him bringing in Xhaka, I'll be honest. But who does he bring in?
That's the big question. Again, you have to know if he will have all controls in recruiting the player that he needs. And it's true, Shakai is an absolute good example where coming from to Leverkusen, but this isn't going to Sunderland and being the X factor. He's a game changer, that guy right now. So uh, Alonso should bring some players, reinforce the center backs. But the problem, you have so many players already center backs. What are you going to do? That's the
Yeah.
problem. I'm happy that Colwill comes back and he can do the job and help the youngest. Um, um, they will need more preparation. I mean, Cole Palmer, Reece James cannot be injured every 3 weeks, and that's the thing too, because you need those two players. Enzo Fernandez didn't show love to Chelsea for me. I mean, I was John Toshak wanted me to go to Real Madrid in '99,
Mhm.
and I say no, Chelsea is my club. I want to stay. That's
Yeah.
you have to make sure that the colors are still there at Chelsea. Blue is
Mhm.
the color.
Yeah.
That's the song, and you have to make sure that the players sign really want to sign. When I see Havertz talking badly about Chelsea, I don't like it
Yeah.
because I mean he won the Champions League and he criticized the club, and maybe something has been lost at Chelsea because of that. I would never have bad words about Chelsea if it's not to make sure that the club is going to get better. And I love that club, and Alonso and the ball will have to make sure that the player who play for Chelsea will be ready to die for that club, and that's the
So
thing. When you had Lampard after us,
yeah.
Drogba, Robben, John Terry, and so many others, they were ready to die for that club.
So in regards to that, would you want Enzo Fernandez to leave or would you want him to change his colors? What would you prefer?
No, no, I want him to leave. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of Enzo Fernandez. What he said about the French people after the World Cup, uh,
Obviously,
and
yeah.
uh, and how he talked about Chelsea when he said that he wanted to go to Real Madrid. So I'm not. I wish him the best,
Yeah.
but I don't care if he leaves. Let's say that way.
Yeah. That's perfect. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'll tell my
And you
friend, I'll
take
tell my
care.
friend he's a massive Chelsea fan, so thank you very much.
Well, say hi to him. Yeah, bye bye,
Will
my
do.
man. Take care.